Folks, this is a topic I really haven't hit probably for a year or so. It's something Adrian and I have never talked about, so we're going to get into it. We're going to pretend like we're in front of a class of seniors, right? These are 17 and 18-year-olds. We're going to say they have no interest in going to college because, again, who wants to rack up 100K in student loan debt to get a whatever degree? So, Adrian, we're in front of I don't know, 30, 40, 50 seniors. They're telling us they're not going to college. They're ready to hustle. That's probably what we would hear. We're ready to hustle. We want the Lambo. We want the flash. Because that's what you think when you're 18, right? Like, let's
100%.
just be real.
Yeah.
They want to be like us, right? They perceive us as having where they want to go.
For sure.
So I call this a game of ping pong where we go back and forth 2 or 3 times. You're the guest. You go first. What's the first thing you tell the audience?
First thing I would tell seniors is to, and this is going to be a little difficult because I remember being a senior and maybe I did or didn't want to hear this, but I would have them evaluate their peer group. And I would have them take a look at who are the people in your peer group. And you're not going to know this, but you're more than likely going to be wrong, right? Let's be honest, because people change between 18, 19, and 20. But take a look at your peer group and really look at the group of guys and or girls and ask yourself, are they really, really doing what you want to do? Do they have the same aspirations? Do they have the same goals? Or when you start to talk about, hey, I want to do real estate investing, or I heard this guy, Michael Zuber, on YouTube, and it sounds pretty cool. And they say something like, dude, that's dumb. Why would you ever do that? Or they shoot down your goals, or you bring up what you want to do and they make you feel like crap about them. The first thing I would do is eliminate those people. And it's going to be hard. A lot of those people you go and you party with, you have a good time with, you chill with, and I get it, but you have to understand that you're always going to be the average of the 5 people you hang around, and that includes you in high school.
Yeah. Adrian is always nicer than I am. I would tell a high school senior on his first one that your friends suck and you need to go get some new ones. Go figure out what your thing is, what your excitement is. Go find 5 new people because your friends suck. Time to move on. All right. So done. Done. So
I love that.
The first thing I would do, and I was lucky enough, I've done this a couple of times in front of seniors, is I would ask them a question. And I would say, how many of you could live on, pick a number, right? If I'm in LA, maybe it's $5,000. If I'm in a cheaper area, maybe it's 2,500. Right? I would pick a number that's relevant for that area. And the goal is most of these seniors are going to raise their hand because they have no concept of money yet.
Right.
So we'll just say it's $5,000, right? You're in Orange County. Right? How many of you could live on $5,000, right? So they all raise their hands. And I would get real quiet and I would tell them, now, if you're serious about that, all of you could be financially free by the time you're 25. You're 18, you're 17. You could be financially free by 25.
Yep.
But here's the deal. You need to bust your ass for 5 to 7 years, and you cannot ever spend more than $5,000 a month. The reason most of you will not be financially free by 25 is because you will have a little bit of luck. You'll make a little bit more money, and you will get effing stupid. You will buy the stupid car. You will upgrade the house. You will upgrade your food, and you will kill the momentum. So again, do you want to be financially free by 25? Your parents are 40 some odd years old. They're not free. Do you want to be free or not? The path is easy. It is proven. But most of you are so young and dumb, you're not going to execute it. You're going to ratchet up your living expenses to match your income. And I say this as a 50-year-old who didn't have a nickel to his name until he was 30. Because I did the stupid thing. I bought the $50,000 car when I made $35,000. Believe me, I get it. Don't be like me. If you truly can live on $5,000 and you want to be financially free by 25, let's go.
I love that.
That's my first.
So good. So good. All right. My second one would be to go to your parents. And if they haven't already done so, ask your parents to add you to their credit cards. Ooh. Now your parents need to obviously do this right.
They have good credit.
Yeah, they got to have good credit, right? They got to make sure they're paying their credit cards, right? And nonetheless, they can't give you a credit card with an obscene amount of money that you can max out on, right? Talk about young and dumb. At 17, my mom did this, and I actually did the opposite. So learn from me. I actually took that card and said, oh, this is an unlimited free fun card. And Yeah, let's just say that my mom still talks about it till this day.
You got, it's one of those stories. I got a couple of
So
those stories.
I paid
Mom,
it back.
I've heard
We're
it
good.
100
I
times.
paid it back. We're fine. But the point is you just don't want to get your parents into financial bind. But the whole point here, guys, is you want them to add you to their credit card so you can start to establish your credit. It's an easy way to do this. Another easy way is to get a phone bill under your name, is to get something small under your name so you can start to establish credit.
I like that.
No one ever told me the importance of credit until it was time for me to start buying things with credit. And then I realized the importance of it. So I would talk to them about that and then ask them questions about credit, ask them how you can keep a healthy credit score. That's all really important. So for when you get older.
So, the second thing I would talk about, and I would probably do this if I was in front of 30 or more people, I would probably do this with a real $100 bill. But for YouTube, I'm going to just use a piece of paper. And I got this from Shaquille O'Neal. So Shaquille O'Neal was talking with some billionaire, and he talked about why basketball players, a lot of time go broke and what he should be doing. This was young in his career. And he basically took out a $100 bill and said, there goes 50% to taxes, right? So you sign a $100 million contract, you don't get 100 million, right? You've got 50 million. Now with the 50 million, you got to rip it in half again. That's got to be your investments, right? And oh, by the way, if you really want to become a billionaire like me, you need to rip it in half again. Now with what's left, which is about 1/8 if I've done my math right, ball out, do whatever you want. So again, as a 17 or 18-year-old person, I want you to live on 20% of your income, save everything else.
So
That's
good.
it. Let's go.
I wish
All right, what's your
wish
third
someone
and
told
final one? Yeah.
I wish somebody told me that when I was 18, 19 years old.
Yeah. I'd have been like, okay, live on 20%.
Right.
I didn't know. My parents spent every penny, so that's what I did. Damn.
And you guys, it is much harder to change a habit when you're older compared to when you're younger. Right now, it is much easier for you guys to establish this habit. You're going to ride with it, and it's going to become who you are. It is hard to break a habit when you're 30, 40, 50 years old, right? Yeah. It's not to say it's not doable, but it's a little bit harder when you're
a little bit hard.
when you're 17. So look at that. Number 3 for me would be do not undervalue knowledge. Do not stop learning. Just because high school is ending, that does not mean that your path of learning more ends. You have to continue to learn. You need to be a student of the game. So a lot of people worry about what they get paid right out of high school. Don't worry about what you're getting paid out of high school. Go worry about where you're going to learn. Go somewhere where you're going to learn the most, where you're going to absorb the most amount of information. As a matter of fact, who cares if you're even getting paid at the beginning? The knowledge is overseeing what you would be getting paid. Don't let short-term pay get in the way of long-term knowledge that can really give you wealth in the future.
Yeah, my third and final one that I would leave a high school class with is I know a lot of this conversation has been about money, building wealth, all of those things. But I do want to leave you with this kind of thought. I've been lucky enough to interact with some very successful people. I've also had conversations with people in their 80s, 90s, and 100. And it is amazing how much they talk about what they regret. So what I want to leave you with is this. Again, whether you're becoming financially free at 25, whether you're living on 1/8 of your income, I want you to know this. Life is about being happy. If you find that thing that truly makes you happy every day, you win. If you are a garbage collector, a school crossing guard, a whatever your thing is, and you are truly happy, I want to shake your hand because you have solved the secret of life. I would kind of leave with that one.
I love it. Kids, listen up.
Frankly, none of these, you could be any age and these all apply, but that was fun to think about standing in front of some high school seniors. Folks, if you are a teacher and you want Adrian or I to come out, let's reach out. Let's go have these real conversations. Adrian, how can people follow you?
I would love to, Zuber. Instagram @Adrian Hernandez. This was fun.
There you go.